Town of Pierson workshop for Monday, March the 4th, 2024 at 4:04 p.m. will now come to order. Yvonne, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Samuel Bennett.
Here.
Vice Mayor Robert Greenland.
Here.
Councilwoman Sergia has called out. Councilwoman Lenny Richardson. Here. Councilwoman Brandy Peterson. Here. And I'm present.
Thank you, Yvonne. If y'all would please bow for the invocation. Dear Father in heaven, thank you for this day that you blessed us with. Thank you for everyone that's here today. Give us wisdom as we consider the business before us here at the workshop. And I pray for, as always, pray for safety of people that are serving in the military and in areas of service. I pray for their well-being and safety. Again, thank you for this beautiful garden spot community that we've been blessed with. And keep us in your care. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, our first item for discussion is a 4th of July discussion and action. And before I open up the floor, I'd like to say that with our new town center, and we have an alarm system, I know one thing that I wanted to share that I'd like to do differently. And I don't know how many people had knowledge of this, but Eddie, where he stores his food and stuff, he had been broken in, there. People would steal and go out there and try to steal stuff out of the freezer. And man, when you go to buy stuff, especially meat and things, you lock things up, but there's not a whole lot of security over at the rodeo ground. So I intentionally would wait and go get stuff the day of, but now that we have a place that's more secure, we have an alarm system, we have a nice big refrigerator, we got coolers we can put stuff in, and even if we have to buy something else for future storage, I'd like for the town to do that. If y'all seem like that'd be something good to do, but you'd see how people, would steal, and I just felt a lot of money went out, like we'd buy meat and stuff. So that's one thing I'd like to change and get things a little bit ahead of time and have it here, so all you got to do is just, you drive up and it's all here. But we were, of course, when we were over at our other town hall, we shared that with the bank, and we were limited in our space. So that's one thing I'd like to wanted to share, that there was a reason in the method in waiting and getting it not way far ahead, because so the floor is open, and I'm glad that Brandy brought that up, because we can talk about this before it gets, it'll be here upon us sooner than we think. Another thing we could do that's more secure, we could even order the funnel cakes way ahead of time and have them, because you can freeze them, but everything's so expensive, and if somebody were to go there and rob us, that'd be a sad day. So
I had a bunch of notes from last year that I wrote down. Last year we had the fireworks vendor across the street. So I was gonna say on all of our flyers or whatever, no fireworks, no alcohol, no fireworks.
I remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was
I,
bad.
if I may, called the fire marshal after the fact. And he said, Lenny, this is my cell phone number. I hate to misspeak, but in Volusia County, unincorporated, they only give out about 18 permits to sell fireworks. He said people apply the year before to get the permit to sell for that holiday. He said, you call me, I don't give a damn what time it is. If you see any of these little pop-up things that we saw last year, he said, I will come shut them down.
But I thought we did check and they did have theirs last year. No, we didn't check. I mean, I just remember it was being a
It was
problem.
after the fact.
Okay.
So they didn't have a permit.
They did not.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was over at what we all know as Jack Babat's
Correct.
station.
And since then, the vegetable stand, I don't remember what was it, New Year's,
That's their son.
That's the same guy.
Yeah,
correct,
that's the same.
was selling them, and I lost the dude's business card with his number on it. So I happened to be here one day when the fire marshal came in and followed him in the parking lot, and he said, here's my card with my cell phone number, you call me. So I promise I won't lose this card.
I mean, I
So
just don't
we
want
can
us
check
to be liable. It's on,
Correct.
they're on our property and somebody hits them with one of those mortars, it's
Yes.
gonna hurt them.
Well, I agree, Randy, thanks for bringing that, and I agree with what, Lenny just said, and they were breaking the law though. So the liability, I don't know, I'm not an attorney.
It wouldn't have been on us for
Yeah.
them shooting them off. I'm just worried about them shooting them into our crowd.
Everything they were doing though was against the
Right.
law, and I'm with you. I think we should do all we can to make sure
And
that
they
doesn't
were
happen.
shooting them across the street in our crowd.
Yeah, one fell over and
Who was
shot
it?
under. I don't
Whit,
remember her
Sherry
name.
Whitten, I think, said that they were.
Yeah,
Kathy Blackwelder from Volusia County over there.
that's who it was.
It was Kathy Blackwelder from,
Yeah, so absolutely, I will call.
So that was one thing we had on there, and then, I was up here with the girls the other day talking, and I was asking Marcy about the rentals or whatever. I was thinking maybe we could do a bounce house and a water slide, or a couple bounce houses and a couple water slides. It's so hot. And
Amen.
I just feel like if it was a little bit cooler, you know, the people would bring more kids up there instead of right at dark. Seems like that's when we always get bombarded. So there's a couple that Marcy and Ron need to pick out.
Well, and Brandy, it is summer, right? It's not
Right.
winter, so I think a pool, I think
Yeah.
that's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's also on here, the rock wall. They said we had got that before, and
Uh-huh.
they provide with that price and attendant to run the rock wall. But I mean, I just printed some out. This is where Marcy said that we get the rentals from Jumping Beans. We also get the train from them. And I know the train's a good thing, but they say it breaks down a lot. The last year it
The
said
last
broke
couple of years.
more than they have it on the track, so just, I don't know.
Well, the problem with the train, who was operating it?
Jason, I think it gets hot, some mechanism,
There-
some.
They've told us that has you have to, when you run it, there's a certain time, then you have a
can go
break.
around the track one time and then it sits for like 15, 20 minutes where they can go again.
Yeah, and then if they do that, it doesn't get overheated, but it might have been where it was, there wasn't a break. And, cause what you're saying is true. It wasn't, it gets overheated and then it doesn't, then you gotta wait.
Wait so long for it to cool back down.
Yeah, but the operators told me that from when we started, he said, you cannot, and he would come and run it. And then I think he's had health issues, when he would run it, there was not an issue with it. But then somebody didn't know to do what I'm talking about, then it gets overheated and didn't work.
There's new owners now.
I think they should provide somebody to run it and it should work,
Right.
yeah.
Well,
Do you have any other, anybody else that has a train that you know of that? No?
I didn't look, I just knew Marcy said that this is who we use, so me and her and Vaughn looked in here the other day. And
It's a nice little train and people love it. It's just like what we're talking about. If it overheats and
Right, yeah.
it doesn't run.
Not gonna run, is it?
so are some of these water things?
Yeah, that's a bounce out, this is a water one.
Yeah.
This slide,
Okay.
you know, and those would be for, and this was another suggestion why they look like, the first two are for like smaller kids, because we need to put an age limit on them, because them big kids run the little ones. I mean, I don't blame you, I wouldn't wanna put my little kid up there with a big kid.
Yes.
So maybe try to be like 5 and under, or whatever, and under for these ones, or 8 and under, I don't know. And then the other ones for the bigger kids.
I'm all for doing the water. I think that's wonderful.
But that's why they.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea for sure.
Because it's so hot.
And that would be for the bigger kids,
Yep.
this obstacle course, and then that's the bigger kids that are sliding.
Welcome.
You didn't miss anything, Beth.
Sorry, I'm late.
You're fine.
You're fine.
It's away every time. But these are just ideas, I mean, this is just ideas, I mean,
Well,
there's tons of slides.
I
but
think the
these are-
slides would probably be a good idea.
the water.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
water.
Yeah.
The water.
That would fit more into, for July, wouldn't it?
July, yeah.
Yes. For sure.
And like I said, I
Any
think
kid
that would
loves
give
those
them
things.
more of a reason to be there early, or, you know.
Right.
Now, and this is a question, do you think we should do the water slide and then still have things that are not water?
Correct, that's what we printed, like the bounce house would be the non-water, and then one's
Okay.
the slide. So they would each have a dry one and a wet one, in case you didn't want the kid to be wet, I mean.
Okay.
It's the middle of July, they'll dry quick.
That's a wonderful.
And the rock wall, that's just, Marcy had said we'd gotten that before the rain, and the kids love it.
Now, why was it not available last year?
Because they had no manpower to, and that's something that they have to send.
A person.
A person for.
Yeah,
And that price includes the person to man it.
our people can't man that one. It has to be their employees. Which is fine, but hopefully they have the people to man it. But we also need to kind of make a decision about that, because one of these floats that y'all want, maybe will not be there tomorrow.
For
You know,
example.
you gotta reserve it ahead of time.
So this is the water one here on page.
That's a regular. And this is for the bigger. I have like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then 1, 2, 3. Another thing, while we're all thinking, snow cones. Last year, we left a whole entire line of kids on snow cones and we ran out of syrup. We were looking, was it on Amazon, Yvonne?
Yep.
On Amazon, like $150, we can buy our own snow cone machine. And then we could have ours and maybe Jeremy's. And if we buy our own, that way we have it forever, for any of our events.
Have a double snow cone maker.
For a double snow cone for 4th of July, but then after 4th of July, for any events we have here, for any, we
Yeah.
will have
And
that.
we have it there, we have it ready,
Yeah.
For us
readily
to
available.
use.
They're not like $150.
Yeah, like, wasn't it like $150 a month?
I can help.
How much was the snow cone machine?
I think it was under $150.
It was under $150, I just don't remember the exact price, I think it was
And
like
they also
$139, something.
When we looked, they also had a popcorn machine, same thing, so it's about $150. And it comes with a little wagon things every year, we would have our own.
Well, we bought new
One of those
and it
before.
didn't work, so, maybe look at, in the catalog and try to get another, yeah, these are things that, and we've certainly, with how well we did, you know,
The snow cones always do amazing.
Right.
the snow cones and the popcorn,
Yeah,
yeah,
Those
but,
cotton candy.
yeah, I had some more food items of the suggestions. Cotton candy was put on there, nachos, and cheese fries, which, I mean, cheese fries, you just buy cheese and put it in the crock pot, and same with now.
Right,
If you
yeah,
do cheese
they'll do
fries, you can do nachos, cause they're all the same. Just prepackaged the little chips up for nacho fries. But I'm just throwing ideas I have written down, so.
the funnel cakes, didn't we sell out? They sold out?
Last year, we did not sell out from the.
We didn't sell out.
And there were still a couple boxes in there. I think that's some of the stuff we donated to Saddle Club, correct?
Randy,
It was either the Saddle Club or the Lions
Or
Club,
Lions
one of
Club.
them.
Yeah, one of them, maybe it was the rodeo.
I
know
think it was the rodeo.
I think it was too, maybe it
Yeah,
was.
I think it was the rodeo.
But I know Lenny and Paul did the funnel cakes, and y'all were selling them like crazy for the last couple of years. I know the year
They've
before
all-
you sold out,
Yes.
so,
Another thing, I know that in Indiana, I've always ordered the food and stuff. If y'all have a list of what we ordered last year, so we could go off of that.
yeah, that's fine. And like I said, we can get it early, cause
Yeah.
we've got a place now we can store it, and it'll be, I feel, more secure.
Right. That's all. The only other thing I had is last year we had Saddle Club let us use their announcement thing. We didn't really, I wanted to like have music playing, I mean, at least be in the spirit or whatever. We didn't really get there, but we all had our hands, we were busy. But maybe this year playing with Missy a little bit better so that we can have that going, and then if we needed to use it for the intercom system, we could, but it would always be there. And a prayer and play the national anthem before the fireworks, and that's all that's on my list.
Yes, that's wonderful. And if maybe, would you want to get with, Missy and maybe
Oh, yeah,
do that ahead of, yeah?
yeah,
Cause I think they have supposedly a whole, she paid to have everything all reworked and
Mhm.
speakers, and it's
yeah.
really
I
nice.
would definitely get with her.
I was up there a week ago, and and I think Missy must have had Stephen go up there and repaint and
He
everything.
did paint before one of their big, one of those big,
NBHA races.
yes.
It's beautiful, just
Yeah.
as clean and
He
everything's
painted the
neat.
top where it was all rusty looking and stuff, he painted all that.
Yeah,
I helped him work the concession.
it's very
It
nice.
looked way better. And, Marcy, you wanted to start working on sponsorship letters, is it going on like the same as we always have?
Need to get them out early.
Mm-hmm.
Need to get them out early and then maybe resend. Or send out a reminder or something. I know if you send them out, too early, then, they just get put aside,
Right,
get shoved under stuff that
yeah,
don't get attended to.
so maybe middle of April?
Yeah.
Probably so.
Yes, Yvonne.
Question, did we used to have a banner that we used to hang across the road about the 4th of July? No? Okay, I wasn't sure if we did or not, if we.
Yeah, we did too, didn't we?
I think we had it. I think TikTok made it, didn't it?
He
thought we
made
had a banner.
one year that was recognizing the mayor. I think that was, if I remember right, it was something to do with honoring, this was, but I'll look and see if we can find but it had something to do with,
I just remember there was
I thought
something
Yeah.
had it in that, where the cops was in that one room, but I don't know what happened to it after that.
But even if we can't find the banner, which we'll try to find it, we could get a banner and get one that we can roll up and keep and have it for the 4th of July, you know,
Or you can just change the dates
yeah,
in case it's not.
that's good, because people love it, and it gets bigger, that's a big success.
Do y'all think we need to add all of these objects here that we got in front of us?
We usually get about 4.
Yeah, well,
How many do we
And
get
we
normally
the train,
Right.
and, sometimes we had got the bull also, sometimes we got the rock wall, so last year we had 4 and then the train.
Right. Didn't have the rock wall last year.
No, or the bull, they
because
didn't
it
have
doesn't
the
have a
manpower.
manpower to run it.
I think we should get it like, we were talking earlier that you brought up, prove what we want and go ahead and tie it up early.
Right, I was gonna say we should go ahead and
They
tie it
did
up.
something different this year.
And get the,
We do the same ones every year, and I think the kids kind of get bored with them.
and get the water,
It would be one water slide for the big kids and one bounce house for, what do they call it? Obstacle course for the big kids, and then a bounce house for the little kids, and this excavator combo is the water slide.
For little ones,
Yeah.
yeah, and then the one on the back is for the big kids, right? Slide.
and then
And that's just obstacle course.
Chris, Lewis, and Dustin, they're gonna do the rock climbing, I think. No?
They have to have their own.
They have to have their
guide to
own.
do that. I think Justin and Chris will be in the kitchen with y'all.
They'll be in the kitchen.
Chris said nobody does fries like him. I think he's done cabbage on his fries.
He does
Y'all are just gonna
a good job.
have to fire him completely and get him away from.
To get him away from the fryer.
And then, we're gonna be in a lot better shape this year for the french fries too, because, our, Olin, what's his last name? The one,
Cannon.
he took all those, french fry, the ones that, a lot of them weren't working, he took them to Jacksonville, and they put new thermostats and got them all working, and so we've got french fryers now.
That's good.
So, and I know we have access where we can use all the french fries, the ones that are over there.
Another thing I had is concession close at 8, so we can enjoy the fireworks and stuff too. That's the only other thing, like start shutting it down.
Start shutting it
That way
down.
By the time fireworks start, we're not still cooking it.
Yeah. You know, a lot of venues, racetracks and stuff, when you're about to shut down the kitchen or whatever, they'll put stuff on, buy one, get one, if you've got extra, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get rid of
To get rid of it, absolutely.
Well, I think we sold, was it the drinks we sold completely out? But we sold out of everything except the funnel cake. No, maybe that was the year before that we sold out of everything.
It was the year
The
before.
year before. Yep.
Water payment. Marcy. Hold up.
Okay. Well,
So we
you wanna
wanna
make a
do-
recommendation to go ahead and do all the things that you've mentioned, and let's get it reserved. Make a motion that you recommend, all of this to go to our, when we have a board meeting.
This and that.
We'll add it to the cart.
Add it to the cart.
So we want the train as
I think I think we should keep the train. It's a big hit. They love it. It's just we need to talk to the company and say, we want it, but we want somebody, do you have an operator, number one? And then number two, if it doesn't work, is there gonna be a discount? Or, you know, maybe put something in, cause I'm for it, but we want it to work. And it did work when it was operated properly. It has worked.
So you need a motion?
Yes.
Okay, I move to go ahead and contact Jumpin' Bean Party Rentals to go ahead and insure up the Patriotic Bounce House for $125, the excavator combo for $249, the rock wall for $225, the 60-foot obstacle course for $400, and the double TP curve for $375, as well as the electric train.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor for all the items discussed, and it is on tape, made by Councilwoman Lenny Richardson, for this to go to our full board as a recommendation to move forward with all of these rentals. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Brandy Pierson. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So carried. Okay, next item, rentals and leasing, and we need to come up with some pricing.
And I don't have to stay for this part, I just came just to see if you had any questions.
Okay, that's good. Anyone have any questions? Is it gonna be 5 days a week, 6 days a week?
You don't know yet, do you?
I really don't, because I'm just exploring it.
Uh-huh.
I would anticipate the summer will be different than the school year. Parents might take more advantage of it during the summer. And the scholarships I was talking about before, they'll end June 30th, and the new set starts July 1st. So that will get them through. So I really don't know. I don't know how many students, I don't know how many teachers. I'm just kind of exploring what we can do. So, but yes, I would anticipate it would be available 5 days a week. Probably not 6. I don't think I'll get many teachers.
Probably not. Probably not. But I really don't have a clue
So,
as to what we should charge.
let me start off by saying this. I talked with Ryan this afternoon. You know how we're tax exempt, property tax exempt? When you are renting for something, Ryan, help me out here.
Yeah, essentially I talked to Christian, the attorney. If we rent if we rent stuff for commercial or for-profit purposes, whatever percentage of the campus we rent to that, we are responsible for that percentage of the property tax on the property. So 106, where the bank is, for instance, we pay $2,100 a year property taxes on that because the bank is not exempt.
Mm-hmm.
We are, but they took a quarter of that building and charged us the property tax on it. So for every room you rent out here, your property taxes are gonna go up. So depending on the type of leases you do, we're thinking, and Christian is thinking, we would essentially do a triple net lease. And triple net leases, they pay us one amount and then we divvy that up between, like, in other words, we would pay the power, we pay the maintenance outside, the landscaping, you know, our guys would do that. But it also goes toward our insurance and our property taxes, because that stuff's obviously gonna increase with every tenant that you've got. I can't begin to give you a figure on I
That's
don't know how
just
they
it,
come to
that's just it,
evaluate
we don't know what it's gonna cost us until
Right.
we,
But we weren't really sure when we started if the property taxes would play into it, but they're going to,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
Did you ask and see, like, for every room, what the percentage would be?
We
Because
would-
I'm not gonna be the first person, or the
Right,
last person.
and we would probably have to contact, I would guess, a property appraiser's office, and what they're probably gonna want is they're probably gonna want a total square footage of the whole campus, and then the square footage of each room. So like, for instance, not the building you were interested in, but the one behind it, we measured those rooms, they're approximately 990 square feet. So, you know, they'll take that and figure out, okay, is that 2% of the campus, is
Right.
that 8% of the campus, and that's how they're gonna, I'm assuming that's how they determine the bank, although I don't know that for sure. That's some of that Volusia County property appraiser formula magic that we probably aren't privy to.
Well, it wouldn't be that difficult to figure out this total square footage.
Somewhere we have plans that has a square footage of
Right.
everything on it, it would just be a matter of adding it all up and then getting an actual true square footage of all the rooms. Because we just did an approximate on ours. But first it would benefit us to call the property appraiser's office and ask if that's how they do it. I don't know if it's by square footage or how they determine it. But that is one consideration, is that when we think about rentals, you know, we were worried about from like a utility standpoint, you know, how much is the power gonna go up when we move a bunch of people in here and it's July and everyone's running their air at 72, you know. But then when you add property tax, that's gonna be your big expense. Because property taxes, as you know, are not inexpensive.
And that was just determined today, so.
Yeah, I just found that out from Christian today. Originally, when we had talked about it, he said he'd get back to us on that, and then I emailed him for clarification, and that was the answer that I got. So, that kind of threw a wrench into our thinking on that a little bit.
Well, I believe what we need to do then is contact somebody from the property appraiser's office and see if we can't, get him up here, you know, and sit down and talk. You or Yvonne, you know, sit down and talk with him and give us an idea of, you know, the possibilities of what it's. I'm sure like you say, I'm sure there's an equation or something.
And
they'll be
there's
able to tell us.
probably, you know, just throwing this out there, and this is probably further down the road. And it gets a little complicated from like a collecting tax standpoint, but you could also look into doing short-term rentals. In other words, if people only, like if you were only gonna do this through the school year. Maybe people don't wanna sign a 12-month lease, but they wanna rent something for 6 months or 8 months. There is a short-term rental that you can do in Volusia County for properties, commercial properties. The sales tax is collected a little bit differently on that. But that is something to entertain, because there may be people that wanna rent it as an event space, or they might wanna do classes here, but they might not wanna run it year round. And it might be in our interest to entertain that, because it'd be nice to use it 3/4 of the year than not at all, you know. But that's again, something we have to ask about in terms of, because you gotta be real careful with the leasing, and Christian is gonna come into play on that, because he's a real estate attorney. But, you know, a short-term rental is a lot different in terms of how it's handled than a full 1 year, 3 year, 5 year lease or whatever. So that may be an option too, just to get maybe more interest, because people may want it part-time, not full-time.
Well, I definitely think is the facility that we have here, the room, I mean, that we need to be doing something with it.
I think we can lean hard on Christian for his knowledge, because that is his specialty, as far as his degree when he went to college. It is for the things that we're talking about right now. So, and I agree with the vice mayor. I mean, if we can make it where it's profitable and we are able to pay our bills, and then at the same time, Beth provides a service that is needed here in the community, you know, that's a good thing. That's what we need to do. And I think, you know, and again, this is something we'll have to check on. We've got time. I believe that we have the room sizes from when Brown and Brown, they came and measured everything, we have insurance when because we had to get insurance on the whole campus. And I don't know, I'd want to discuss that further with Christian, but because he would be knowledgeable in that, but I don't know, but I'm thinking that, let's say that if Beth rented a spot, then we would give those measurements to the county and say, this is the room that we're going to be renting, and the rest of the campus, we're at this time, you know, or how many ever rooms we're going to rent. But I certainly don't want to give the county measurements of the whole campus and for them to come up with, because we're not being taxed right now. And so whatever, that's what we need to determine. How many ever, like if we're going to rent, let's say we're going to rent this room to Beth and we got 6 or 7 more rooms, then we could give that information to the county and say, these are the areas we're going to rent, and what is that going to cost in the way of taxes. So,
I mean, you all don't wanna lose money by
Right.
renting out spaces.
right.
I don't wanna lose money.
And I don't want them to
I'm
get,
not looking to retire off this. Promise you that. I'm just wanting to bring something to the community.
Right.
Well, and if I can, another thing that because I just found this out from Christian at like 3 o'clock, so I didn't really have time to elaborate, but I'm curious to know, and I'm not sure how you plan to structure a business or how you're gonna register and all that, but say Daytona State came in here and wanted to do some adult education classes. Okay, technically, they're probably a tax exempt thing. So if we're not renting it to them for a commercial, quote unquote, use, does their portion of the campus have to be taxed or not? But that's something we have to find out. Like if someone comes to you and they're an educational organization or they're another government organization, like if we give a building to the sheriff's office,
Right.
you know,
It's a service.
right. So in other words, would the county tax that, or do they not look at that the same way they would like a nail salon?
Right,
Or,
right, exactly, like a
So
commercial.
depending on how you register, I don't know if you can, if you're capable of doing that as a nonprofit, or if you're capable of getting some kind of educational classification.
I doubt it.
No,
I mean, I can look into that, but I doubt it.
it'd be something just to ask.
Yeah.
And I know there's grants available too for people that do those kind of programs. I don't know if I could apply for one here as a town, but I know you probably can. That might help you with things like rent. But I mean, there's all different ways that we can kind of approach it and try to reduce that burden. But I haven't really had time to look into a lot of that yet, but that's another Christian question,
Mhm.
you know.
I think with the whole rental, leasing, figuring out the lease and how we're gonna charge and all that is definitely where got to be fitted. Before we can sign a lease, we gotta get them room.
Yeah, they have to be
For
ready.
these people to come lease them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some work that needs to be done there.
Oh, yeah.
And we table it for another 2 weeks, and table it again for another 2 weeks, and then there's a month. And
And
I
people would
think,
call.
I think if we could as board, because the air has to be checked in all of the buildings, the sheriff's building and other building that Beth wanted. I mean, can we, as a council, give Yvonne and Ryan $5,000, $10,000 and say, we need the carpet, the air's checked, all the stuff in order to get them rented out? Because we can come up with a price and rent it out, but it's gonna be another month or 2 to get the work and people here to do everything.
Mm-hmm. Or they.
The toilets, I mean, you know, the
So
whole
like,
campus
set
has
up
a
Right,
toilet.
yeah.
Everything has to have big toilets.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
do you just go ahead and tell Brian, put big toilets and everything here? I mean, I don't know where, I mean, you don't wanna do that, we don't wanna do that right off the get-go, but these buildings that we're interested in,
Yeah,
they
that we
need
know.
to be done.
Yeah, that we know is gonna be occupied.
I mean, and we don't have a meeting this week, so that, I mean, if we keep putting it off, we're another weekend, another 2 weeks, you're right, 2 weeks.
Did they take the furniture out?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're empty?
Yep. Yep, they are empty.
Yes, I'd like to see us, that section, I don't know what, 31, 32, and then the west end, those two.
And then maybe four,
The old kindergarten classrooms.
yeah, there's four there.
Yes,
So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's 8 rooms right there. A start to get it cleaned and going, I don't know what the answer is.
you're right, they have, the AC has to be checked.
Yeah, they gotta be checked.
And I know that,
Toilets, the bathrooms need to be definitely,
Yeah, and it has to be
Tended to.
cleaned.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, Beth, I think you need to know we're serious. We want, I think, and I'll let the board speak to this. I want that to be available and for it to be a success for you. I think the first step is to get contact the county and get them to come up. We'll give them the measurements and find out what our taxes are gonna be on those. You want that on all the way to the, west end, those 2 classrooms that are joined
The two
together.
rooms, just because I could have secondary and elementary, and I don't want them in the same room. So
Yes.
I want that and that joining room between for storage and just that. So those 2 rooms is what I'm.
So let's find out what that is, and then after we tell you what we're gonna have to charge, you'll have to decide whether this is gonna be economically feasible for you to move forward with it.
And literally, I'm exploring it as much as you all are. Like, I really don't know, I mean, I've never done anything like this before, but I do know that.
I was just wondering, are we gonna charge more for the ones with the bathrooms versus ones without bathrooms and they can use the hall bathroom? They would be more valuable.
I'm sure that would have to play into the lease and the square footage and what you got there, but we gotta get there.
Yeah, yes, we would charge
gotta-
more
gotta get
if
there.
there's more
But yeah,
things that are there, then yes, that would be
yeah, your
more.
accommodations are usually what you pay for, if you pay for a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom,
Right.
you know, like. So, yeah.
But yes, we need to, I think we do need to set a budget and have the ACs checked out.
But, I mean, even regardless of what I'm doing, I think you're gonna have interest in other people.
Correct.
Wanting to do things like exercise classes or
Correct.
I
body
think,
classes.
yeah.
We have been approached.
All
Yep.
of that stuff, so, I mean, it's something to just plan for accordingly.
I think we just have to pick a building,
Right,
renovate that building and go, okay, we've got these 4
Available.
rooms available once we rent those out, but I think you gotta do that first regardless, whether, whoever moves in there. Because people are gonna call and they're gonna be interested, and if we had rooms that were ready to show them, it looks like you're serious.
right.
Versus you go, well, we haven't done anything.
It's gonna take us a couple months.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've already
No,
told
no, exactly.
Maya Martinez that, we've already told her twice, it's gonna be a little while. And she's entertaining going to DeLand to open a salon there.
Yeah, she's
So,
probably wanting to get something open,
She calls and emails Yvonne all the time.
really.
And it would be nice to have a nail salon and, you know.
But I
something
think,
different in town.
you know, if you focus all your energy on one building, in other words, if you let them pick anywhere on campus, you'd be running to do AC over there and running to do, so it adds a ton of cost to the town. Whereas if you just did one block,
Right.
What we have.
and
for
this is
now.
what we've got available.
Right.
And to us, those over there are probably the most desirable because they're newer, they've all got bathrooms in the
Inside,
building,
yeah.
and they've also got plumbing outside the bathrooms. In the event that you had to, like if you were a salon, you could put in a hair washing station, a pedicure chair, but they're all kind of self-contained.
Yeah, do you all have building 10 back there too?
Yeah. Some of those rooms we can't even get into though, because we don't have keys and
Those are the suite rooms.
we have to get a locksmith to open those up for us.
Well, I mean, and that's what maybe that's what I'm saying with asking for some kind of guidance for these two, because they sit here and bounce their heads all day long on how to make this better. But at the end of the day,
Beth, you
Some of
said-
the smell is the carpet. I've actually went and smelled the carpet, yes.
Beth, you said the suite rooms? What do you mean?
They're the nicer,
Yeah,
the
they're
newer
the
rooms.
nicer rooms.
So would you rather have,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they have the pod between, they have the bathrooms in there. They probably, if you're thinking like the nail and all of that stuff, probably better ventilation. It's the newer building,
so would you rather have that, or this is the building you want down? Either one? Okay.
Which is building?
The back brick buildings.
Yeah, the back building, before you walk through that pretty quick today. Yeah, see, we can't get into any of those rooms.
those are the
The
suites.
nice rooms.
Yeah, those are the newest rooms, aren't they?
Yeah.
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 So do we wanna take our recorder and go on a little field trip?
Yeah,
We
well,
can't
what
get
we
in
can,
there. Yeah, we can't get in those doors.
We need somebody to
well,
jimmy the lock.
we have a locksmith. Chris can, and they can take the lock out, or we can get in there and take a look at some of these rooms.
I kept my key, do y'all want it?
Yeah.
So
I
we-
think that's another thing, I mean, we can sit here and talk about it, that's
But,
another
so-
thing that's got to be done up here. All of the doors need to have their own locks.
Yeah.
With 2 sets of keys,
And see,
one in a box here, one to give the tenant.
I had talked to a locksmith about that when we first started looking into this, because when I worked at that office in Ormond, we were property managers, so we had someone come rekey an entire commercial building for us. Every tenant got their own key, and then we had a master key.
Right.
And it was really nice, because he just did the internals. Well, he came out to quote this for us, and he said, these door handles that they used here were highly secure commercial door handles, are like $300 a piece. He said
Wow.
to replace, Chris counted it up for me, there was what, 50-something door handles? So, again, that's why I said maybe focus on one block of buildings, because then you could do all those instead of doing, you know.
Who was the last ones to be in contact with the keys?
I was gonna say, have you contacted Volusia County Schools?
Someone brought a box of keys to us, and we tried a bunch of them.
None of the keys work.
None of them work for those back buildings.
Yeah, the back buildings, the suite room, some of the suite rooms, we don't have keys to those, but we did have, through the school board, we did have a key that would fit a lot of the doors that we're accessing. And,
You need to ask them for that master key, because it got into every single room on this entire campus.
yeah, the prop, and yeah, they've got, maybe we can get that. I know the one guy that I worked with, he retired, and
I mean, I had a master key that got into every single room on this entire campus.
You don't think you got it?
I don't know, I wouldn't tell you if I did. I think they made me bring it in. I don't have it. But I know that they're out there, and it's one key that opens everything, and I wasn't the only one to have it. So, there were several of us on this campus that
That
had
had a
master
master.
keys that opened everything.
well, we can contact the school board. We might be able to get the,
Yeah, I would start there before you try to rekey everything.
I mean, I have a drop box out front, so if anybody found the key somewhere, they
Somewhere.
could easily drop it in there.
so you're open to that building or these other buildings?
And once you get into building 10, it's gonna be easier to fix those rooms up for rental.
Those are the ones that got vandalized, and it's been open to the wilderness back there. They're not easy cleanups right now.
Yeah.
They're tile.
They didn't have windows in the whole back for a while.
On the
Just
back
until
side of building
recently.
We can open them up, and then we
They're
can,
not pretty. The last time we went back there, right,
I haven't been back there.
I went in those rooms with Gray before I got on council. So Gray may have key to them rooms back there, or maybe that's before anything was locked, when it was all unlocked up there.
yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't think it'd be unlocked.
No, they were. Every room up here was almost unlocked.
Has anybody asked Kim Hutcherson if she has?
No,
We
she'd
have
be a
not.
good one to ask.
I started there.
Mhm.
So we'll try to get, what clarification on where we want to start.
Yeah, I'm,
Focusing
I
on-
can take either, I don't really care, I just want two adjoining rooms,
Right,
just so
Okay.
I can keep elementary, middle, and high
separate.
separate.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you mentioned those, and the sheriff the sheriff's office wants that 31 room, and
that, yeah, right
Yeah.
there, yeah, and I'd like those two on the end.
right, that's why I was just thinking, start here and work our way
Right.
towards it. Instead of,
Well, we could do that.
yeah. Cause it's all eventually, hopefully, I mean, if everything goes right, my goal would be to have every one of these
Every one of
rooms rented out, and it would be a good place right here.
Yep, every one of them filled with something.
Did
We
you say
gotta
those
get
are
there.
extended bathrooms?
Yeah. So,
And they
yeah.
have a, office area between both rooms,
Mhm.
and then on the other side, they have, two
Two
bathrooms.
bathrooms, a boy and a
Yeah. So they're, you can fix them up, they're great spots. Well, just let me know, keep me posted, if you all have questions, call me back, and I'll come up and answer anything that you need. I was kind of looking for like, if we're gonna do this, like, once you all figure out rates and all that stuff, I wanted to start it in like June, when teachers are out, because we have a lot of teachers that don't work summer school, and it would be a good opportunity for them to make some money during the summer, because they get their last paycheck last day of school.
Uh-huh.
So June 1st will be when your target
Sometimes
is.
June.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just throwing that
Well, I was
out.
gonna
Throwing
kinda
that out.
ask you that, cause school end, I mean, we're kinda at the end of school year now, we're gonna wait for August, or does that would make sense?
I just wanted to give the teachers an opportunity, and you have those third graders, that if they don't pass that test, they would have that opportunity, because they can take it every 30 days, they can take that test again.
Yeah.
So if we could get them to pass it before August, then they can go to fourth grade.
Mhm.
Same for algebra. Alright, thank you guys for entertaining my
Thank you.
crazy idea.
Thanks for
I don't
having
know
the
if it's
idea
gonna-
of that.
I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but it's something I think we need up here, and we
Hey,
have for a
it's
long time.
definitely needed.
Always get
And
heated up here.
we're not gonna know until we try.
Right.
That simple.
Got our support.
And they drive so far for tutoring,
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and that's taxing, so a lot of parents can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the council, the board, all of us, we want to support what you're trying to do. So we're gonna be expeditiously working on this, all to make it work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you all have my number, so call
Okay.
me.
Yep,
Have
got,
any other questions?
got your number. Well, I think.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we focus on this first block,
Mhm.
get them clean, get the AC checked, get whatever.
Mhm. Get ready.
Let's set a budget to kick off with. And get them prepared and presentable.
Yeah.
I mean, she's talking about June, well, damn, that's
That'll be
90
here
days
before you know
from
it.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah, March.
you're right.
I'm for that now. Here's a question. Do we want to try to get in this room? I know Brandy said that, and we talked that they're locked up, but she called them the suite room. She said she would prefer to have the suite room. All I'm saying is, could we look and see if that might be less expensive to redo? I don't know. If this is gonna cost more, the older room, because she referred to this as the older room, and that, back there, she said, oh, those are not.
That's the newest part of the building, that and the cafeteria was all added on last, yeah.
So that's a question, Lenny, should we look and see, open up this area that they're talking about, that was brought up, and see, make a decision of which one we wanna go with that's gonna be less money?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we already know 31, now that's the one the sheriff wants, right? That wasn't Galarza up here this morning saying that again?
Okay,
So that building, we definitely need to go, put in go gears.
okay,
Yeah, but we haven't checked the AC or anything.
Right.
okay. Yeah,
And my thought was just to start at the front and work the way around. I mean, if you wanna go to the back, and those are the bigger, better ones, but bigger and better also means more square footage and more money. So, I mean, I guess it's all kind of hand in hand somewhere along the way.
and I do know that she's talking about I get tickled talking about the suite room, but she also, when she was here at the last meeting, said about that the new, the old media center, that's gonna be the new library. And so that's gonna be so nice if,
We
I'm
were in
thinking,
there today.
pardon me?
They were working in there, and we got to go in there today.
So I think the suite room is pretty close to that,
Yeah, it's on the back side of it.
yeah, so that would, and, cause Beth says, oh, that's gonna be so nice that they can access the library, you know, so we need to get in there and look and see, and then, so we wanna do the one room for the sheriff, and then we wanna determine which room we want.
Are we gonna do the room, or are we gonna do the whole piece? So like we said, I mean, if we
Yeah,
have
do the whole
these rooms
piece.
ready
Yeah.
to say, hey, rent these out. Cause
Do
there's
the-
2 rooms there, 31 and then 32's rent.
Do
next to
both
it.
of them?
Yeah, I would, I mean, if you're gonna do a building, do the whole building.
Yeah, and it's on the front, and make it look nice, and, yeah.
Probably needs to be repainted too.
Oh, yeah.
And she said she don't care that those west rooms would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be, this is what we got available, take it or leave, you know what I mean?
Well, then like she said here, it has the divider, and it does have a divider in
Yeah.
there that shuts the 2 rooms apart. Or you
It
can
does, but
open it.
is it still there?
It's still there.
It's
I
still
looked
there.
today.
But she said also, just sitting there, that, these are the suite room, and it's got,
Yeah, but she wasn't aware that's
Office.
where they were vandalized.
well, the vandalism was, they broke the window, but isn't the flooring, is it like a,
I think it's like those linoleum tiles.
Tile,
I think it's those linoleum.
linoleum, right.
But since it's bigger rooms, would we have to charge them more? You know?
Well, if you're gonna do it like every other commercial rental, it's so much per square foot, so yeah.
So I would think she probably, if it came down to that, she probably would want a smaller room.
So why don't we get a couple of these done, and maybe a couple in the back done? I mean, it ain't gonna hurt us to get them ready, because like I said, eventually they all.
Let's
get
do
We
it.
ready.
at least need to get
Let's
in
do
there
it.
and look at them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got Randy Hutchison's phone number,
Yeah.
I'll call him when we leave here.
Oh, yeah.
Where I think I've got Kim, but I don't have her last name on it, but I'll get a hold of them.
Got too many Kims in there. Sorry, Bobby.
oh my gosh. Oh, Lord.
Thank you, Brandy.
Is Bobby blushing?
I had 3 different Kims in here. I've got last names on 2 of them, but not the third.
Oh, gosh, we gotta cut up a little bit.
Write that from the record. Write that from the record.
She don't need to type that in a minute.
They're just friends.
I mean, I'm kind of excited to get people in here and make these out, and we gotta do some legwork.
That woman that was here a couple meetings ago, I think she's ready to go.
She
They'll
calls
go.
every day, they say, every day, every other
She
day.
calls and
we gotta
emails
get
me
it going.
constantly.
So let's move on it.
We gotta get going.
And that one over there would be perfect for her, because it's got the sink there, she could take it out,
Mhm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
reuse that area.
Okay?
So, let's set a budget to start getting these rooms ready. Gotta get the ACs checked, first and foremost, right?
Right.
Yep, got the upgraded bathrooms,
Yeah,
don't we?
we got the one quote for the 31 room was from Brian,
Yeah,
at
that
the
was
last
1,200,
meeting
wasn't
was 1,200.
On that code, did you have to do some,
Move tight.
Yes,
you had to move some pipes, and
he's
maybe,
got to, yeah, because
Rooms are
I
very
guess they
small.
come in the wall
right,
instead of in the
Come down
floor,
the
and
floor.
so he's got to move the pipe up to put a normal sized toilet down.
I got you.
So why don't we set a budget of 10,000, and get some of these ACs looked at, and get the damn rooms cleaned.
See how far it goes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. We gotta start somewhere.
But we've got to, we need to contact someone from the county, or property appraiser's office, see if we can't get somebody out of that office up here to talk to y'all.
I'll call this person.
10-4. Good deal. Yeah, the sooner the better. The sooner the
Do
better.
we need to talk about, like, I mean, we don't really know price-wise to even start to begin, or do we just hope that we can put it on the agenda next time?
Well, let's wait and see what the
Do we have another workshop, like, what do we need to do?
Well, we can
It's
put it,
better with us than,
right.
Yes.
in the public.
Yeah, this is kinda nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Super nice.
I guess my question is, what does the town want to make off of a room? I mean, what are we thinking in terms of, we wanna be competitive, obviously,
Yes,
but the handful of rentals in Pierson, the price varies wildly, right? So we really, you know, most commercial properties, they look at the comparables all around. They go, what does that place across the street charge? And, but we don't really have that here, so we're kind of in a unique situation where.
I talked to Chad Ward's girlfriend that has the knife sharpening thing at the Leon. Her building is 800 square feet. She pays the power bill. And Ryan, what did I say she paid?
$650.
$650 plus the power bill
Plus the power.
for 800 square feet.
Once we find out from the county, we'll know, cause I mean, you know, I'm not looking to break the bank.
No.
No.
But I wanna cover our expenses.
We have
Yes,
to.
we got to cover our expenses.
So pay the taxes and pay the
Pay
utility.
the
is
utilities,
main
pay the
thing.
taxes, and you gotta keep some out for maintenance too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
so that's a whole nother.
maintenance, that's exactly right.
That means she's paying $9.75 a square foot. I'm thinking the town wants, for now, we at least wanna be at 10 or 10 and a quarter a square foot. But the wild card there is the taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're gonna have $15,000 a year at the end of, you know, for all the taxes, depending on how many rooms you rent. And the way we did this in commercial property is, what you did is they did basically like an audit and a budget at the end of every year. So you took whatever the property taxes were, and you divided that up by the square footage that you rented, and you said, okay, your lease amount for this year is going up. And they had it built in where you had a base rent that you paid, and then they had what they call an operating expense. And the operating expense fluctuated every year.
Mm-hmm.
So their base rent amount didn't change, but their operating expenses, which was property taxes, insurance, and all the utilities, changed based on how much you made, or how much was spent on those items at the end of the year, plus 4% or whatever to budget for the following year. And every January, they got a letter that said, hey, this is your new rent amount, because property taxes went up and utilities went up. And that's how we did it. It's a little bit of work, but if you're keeping track of it through the year, it's not that difficult. But I think, like, we looked at those rooms over there, they were 990 square feet. I think if you charged, let's say $10 a square foot on those,
$1,000 a month.
$825 a month plus tax. I didn't think $825 sounded bad, considering that includes their power
Water.
and their water, all the grounds maintenance, all the outside maintenance, because our guys do all that. But again, that was before I knew that the property taxes were gonna change.
Right, yeah.
So, but I figured, you know, if the lady is paying $650 in Leon Springs, but she's also paying her power bill, she's probably paying, you know, $750, $800 a month for 800 square feet, I would think.
$2,800 a month.
Kitchen and everything.
Yeah.
So that's across the street.
But I think my thought process in all of that is if you're like a salon or you're a tutor or whatever, I mean, I know it's high, but if you had to go to Deland, you're never gonna rent a 1,000 square foot salon for $825.
No, I wouldn't think so.
And I mean, you know, the town
And
makes
that's
a
at
little
10?
money.
That was at 10?
That's at 10 even a square
Yeah.
foot. Now,
So I mean, at
obviously,
least that gives us some kind of roundabout.
I mean, if you're basing it on the lady in Leon Springs, that's $975, is what that calculates out to.
Yeah, yeah.
Because what you do is you multiply that square footage by the rate, whatever the going rate is, and divide by 12, and that's how you come up with their,
Yeah.
you know, their rent price a month or whatever, but,
Well, we'll be able to figure it out once we find out.
Yeah.
That's the main question now. What's it gonna cost?
we also need to ask if our insurance goes up if we have tenants on campus.
Yeah, so the insurance, taxes.
Because I mean, part of, and that's another part of the leasing process. If we're gonna really truly do commercial leases, they have to provide us with
Insurance.
insurance showing
Proof
that
of
$1 million in general liability coverage with us named as additional insured in case anything were to happen.
Yeah,
And Christian told me that is standard, we would have to require that from
Right.
everybody.
Mhm.
But I think $10 a square foot is probably your base, that's where you start. And then it could go up depending on the answer about the property tax. But that would be my suggestion. And that's obviously way lower than what they charge elsewhere in the county, but we're not Daytona, we're not Deland.
Right.
Mhm.
But I mean, there's properties in Daytona and Deland where the base rent price is like, you know, $15, $16 a square foot, plus the expenses. They're paying $21 a square foot total for,
Mhm.
you know, we're not there.
Right, no, we're not there. We're not there. We'll know more about it once we talk to someone from
Get it from the
Once we
county,
get
the
some
property
answers
appraiser's
from the
office
property.
and get the,
appraiser's office.
well, and again, this is good. This is good discussion and this is gonna help us. Do we want to now talk about the leasing, the new town center discussion and recommendation? Not the new town center, the old town hall.
I was like, what do you think we were just talking about?
Yeah, rental and leasing. Yeah, it says rental and leasing new town center discussion and action. Oh, wait a minute, we don't
That's
even,
what you were discussing.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what we've been discussing.
yeah, but we don't even have, I thought we had the bank on here. I guess we don't.
Next agenda.
That's on the agenda.
Okay. Well then, okay.
So what's our
Well,
budget?
rentals and leasing, new town center,
Yeah, it's not the old town hall.
rentals, well,
And it's-
rentals, the bank is our
There's our
rental,
rentals.
rentals and leasing, new town center discussion and action.
Okay.
I mean,
That's
Right.
what our
It is a
rental is.
rental.
That's right, so let's talk about it.
let's talk
Did
about
you
it.
talk to, what's his name, Thursday, what did you say?
Thursday, he said he's not interested in, renting, they would like to purchase it. And he wants us to give him a price. He doesn't want to put a price out there, he says, so we need to come up with a price, to get it. Now, I know Lenny said at the last meeting that the county appraisal on it was it 400?
What was it, Ryan, 370 something?
No, it wasn't that high.
Oh,
322 or 327 or something like that.
okay. Ryan had run the numbers, we discussed it at was it the last meeting or meeting before, Ryan?
The last meeting, I think we talked about the bank.
That was prior to finding out that we're paying $2,100 a year property taxes on that building. We're losing our ass on it. What was the number, Ryan, that we're up to now?
Yeah, like $1,900 a month, just to maintain what we've got over there with power, dumpster, the property taxes, the insurance, the alarm, all that stuff, all the monthly expenses over there. And I factored groundskeeping into that too, because they expect us to mow it.
Right.
So our guys have to go over there an hour a week and mow and edge and weed, so I factored that in at their hourly rate. So about $1,900 a month just to maintain it right now. And they pay us 16.
Yeah, we weren't making money. Well, but again, keep in mind, that was just for part of it.
Yeah, that was just
that's
part
what
of
we
it, right, yeah.
The town hall.
Right, a quarter, right, the
According to the tax collector's office, they are charging us tax on 73.9%
percent.
building, so that means they're not charging.
They're
us.
not
Right,
charging.
right,
So it's 20-something percent.
21%
right.
that they're paying.
So that
paying
means
taxes on.
now that we're out of there,
Yeah,
the taxes will be
next year is gonna be assessed at
$9,000 a
$8,600.
year.
Mhm.
just for the taxes. Ryan and his commercial, business dealings before said they had just recently redone a building's roof that was smaller square foot than that building. A flat roof like that building, and it was what, Ryan, $130,000
$115,000 or $114,000.
to re-roof it? Yes?
I just currently did a piece of a flat roof on my package shed, and it wasn't that, I mean, of course, it's only, what is it? 20 by 20, or maybe 25 by 25, and it's that new material that they're using,
Mhm.
that they're, doing all of Google's re-roof and stuff. It's like a material.
Mm-hmm.
And, but anyway, now that's a lot of money. I tell you what, if we could get $375,000 for that, we could sure put it to use.
Yeah.
We could sure put it to use. I don't know,
Well, think about
it may
this,
be
Bobby,
needless to
the
sell
air
that.
conditioning units are sitting on that roof up there. So in
Yeah.
order to,
Oh,
when
yeah.
it's time to re-roof the damn thing, they've got to
Gotta come up.
disconnect all the air conditioning stuff.
Well, that's why the one at our job is so expensive, because we had to have a crane come in.
Right, to
Lift all the
remove
AC.
All the
off,
AC stuff
Right.
off of it,
And
yeah.
then you had to coordinate with the crane company, the roofing company.
And the air
That's
conditioning.
what made it a nightmare.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Bobby, we could use $375,000 if we put it away for a nest egg for a hard time, or, you know what I mean? Working on this place.
So three.
No, I don't know, I just threw that out.
No, that's-
It's assessed at what, Ryan?
Well, right now,
Three-
last year was 380.
Okay,
This year projected 2024, they say 411.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Okay.
the settle, we need to get 400 for it anyway.
Well,
If
the
not
county
more.
has it assessed at 411,
Yeah, if not more.
maybe,
Put 450.
maybe
450.
450.
Right.
Right.
450 or
Yeah,
5.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
maybe start at 5 and then they're probably gonna counter.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
They wanna start at 500,
start at 5.
yeah.
and that's
And
of
let
that
them-
building with that,
How many acres is there?
1 point, oh man, Ryan.
Someone told me about the bank in, who was it, saying something about it? The one in DeLeon, it's like, it's been
180.
sitting there, and it was how much?
It's like 180.
Yeah.
185.
Well, there's two
And
parts,
it's
there's
still sitting there.
two
Wow.
parcels.
So do we wanna go that high and scare them off?
It's 185,000?
Yes.
Well,
but
we're
I
just
said-
going by the just value, that's what
Well,
I said, you're not gonna sell your house for what the property taxes say it's worth.
let's start out at 550, and we can always come down. You can't go back
Can't go
up.
up, yeah, you're right.
And let's sell it. I agree with what
Yeah,
y'all are
absolutely.
saying.
I mean,
So,
Yeah,
and
that's
again,
fine
we
with me.
can,
Put it on the block.
put it on the block. Okay, what else? I think
Let's
that's
do
what
a
we got on the
budget,
agenda.
let's come up with a number and get this little square room looked at.
I thought we did.
We didn't make a motion.
We talked about it.
Oh, we didn't make a motion?
No.
Put in the motion.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
I'd like to make a motion that we set a budget of 10,000
okay,
to start on the cleanup and checking the HVAC systems in the first block of rooms. I guess that would be on the southwest side of the building,
West side.
west side of the building, of the main building.
and then that, does that include the other one that she's interested in?
Yeah, not back here.
Not here, but back over here.
Yes, the
Okay.
one that she said she would take,
Okay, well-
on the west side.
We have a motion on the floor by, a recommendation to go to the board to start with a budget of $10,000 to renovate these buildings on the west end of the property. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice Mayor Robert F. Greenland. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, so carried. Y'all wanna have,
Also make a recommendation to the council that we offer Surety Bank, the bank building and property there for $550,000, starting asking price.
okay, I have a motion on the floor by Vice Mayor Robert F. Greenland to, make available as a recommendation to our board meeting, $550,000 to Surety Bank. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Brandy Peterson. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, so carried. And that finishes our business. That's, being no further business, this workshop is adjourned.
So, do you think we should have another one of these in like a month to make sure where we're at?
Yeah. So when we have our next meeting, we'll set another time.
Yeah,